Hey, Brooke. How's Kyle doing after what happened? Is he coping? He's not down in the dumps or anything, is he? Is he eating right? Does he have enough books? You know how much he loves his reading.
He's fine. Chill. It's been a week since the accident now. Of course he has a lot of free time on his hands in the hospital than he's used to. But I can assure you he's been using it wisely by grumbling and complaining to the max.
I see. Well, in that case, I'm pleased. If he's still lively enough to be grumbling and complaining, there's nothing to worry about. I'll be coming to see him again in the next few days.
Okay, I'll pass on the message. I think it really counts to have your mom by your bedside at times like this. He appreciates your visits a lot.
Kyle appreciates me? Judging from the look on his face when I'm there, I get the feeling I'm annoying him simply by having the nerve to exist in his vicinity. Besides, he told me I'm a pain in his butt on more than one occasion.
Oh, you don't believe that bluster, do you? He's just trying to look tough because he doesn't want to admit how soothed and comforted he feels by having his mommy by his bedside. He said he's always thinking of you.
Well, it'd be great if that were true. You must have been pretty scared yourself, right, Brooke? This whole thing can't have been easy for you. I heard you were in the car when he crashed the car?
That's right. I was in the passenger seat when it happened. Kyle's the last person I thought would ever crash the car.
Even the safest drivers have accidents, and it's usually precisely because we don't think they'll happen that they do. It was his fault, and no one else was involved, right? I can't say I'm pleased about my son being laid up in a hospital bed, but on the bright side, at least no one else got hurt. He only has himself to blame. We can't turn back the clock, but at least he can learn the valuable lessons that there are to be learned there.
Right, I totally agree. He said he's going to be taking a break from driving for a little while once he gets out of the hospital.
How long did they say he'd be in for again? A month, right? Hopefully he has a long, hard think about his driving habits.
Oh, believe me, he's already been doing some soul-searching. I don't think he's under any illusions over who was to blame. Oh yeah, I forgot. I wanted to thank you again. We really appreciate you sending the money for Kyle's hospital stay. His insurance didn't cover it, so we would have been in a really bad situation without your help.
Oh, don't be silly, I'm his mother. You can hardly afford to shell out that much yourself, could you? I know you said you've been struggling lately. It was nothing, really.
But it was so sudden. I think Kyle feels guilty, and he wants you to know how grateful he is.
Him crashing the car into a wall like that was pretty sudden as well. Besides, it's not like he did it on purpose. He has no reason to feel guilty. Sometimes life just throws curveballs at you, and what are mothers for if not dashing to the rescue and saving the day in a rush of heroic maternal glory?
Fair point. Thanks for saying that. I couldn't agree more with everything you just said. To tell you the truth, it's actually kind of a pain in the ass how easily little things like this seem to play on his mind.
Oh, it is? But Brooke, dear, surely it's only natural he'd be upset after what he did. He's always had a strong sense of responsibility, and he hates feeling like he's being a burden on others. I think it's perfectly normal.
But you just said he has no reason to feel guilty? I'm saying I agree with you. I keep telling him he has nothing to feel bad about. But he seems hell-bent on beating himself up over it. I can't help but to think he overthinks things sometimes. He's so goddamn sensitive. I actually felt a huge sense of relief when you just said what I've been thinking this whole time. So thanks for that.
Sure, he might overthink things at times. But still, don't you think it's more complicated than that this time?
Huh? But you just said he shouldn't feel guilty. Wait, were you lying?
What? Lying? No, of course I wasn't. It's just, how to put this? Just because I don't think he should feel guilty about what happened doesn't mean I think he should be nonchalant and indifferent towards it either. If anything, I'm proud of him for being so considerate towards others.
Is there a problem with being nonchalant and indifferent when you've done nothing wrong? You're my mom-in-law, and that makes me your daughter. What's with this weird formality all of a sudden? Since when were you this stiff and reserved? You can speak your mind with me, you know.
I see. Well, I suppose if that's how you feel about it, then you do you, sweetie.
Right? I will. Okay then, it's settled. From now on, carefree is the word. Our days of fretting over trivialities are going to be nothing but a distant memory.
Right. Got it. All right, well, Brooke, I have some shopping to do now, so I'll speak with you later. Take care.
can you lend me some money? We're in the mother of all pinches here. You're the only person I can rely on.
Oh, Brooke, please, would you stop doing this? You asked me the exact same thing last week. I made it very clear that I wouldn't be giving you anything. Why do you insist on doing this?
I know I did, but Mom, we're really in a pinch here. Like, really, really, really. Anyone would think I was a stranger, not your freaking daughter-in-law. Surely you should be more sympathetic towards our situation. Why you gotta be so heckin' frosty?
Listen to me, Brooke. If you're genuinely in trouble and need help, of course I want to be there for you.
Well, in that case, why won't you? You're contradicting yourself a little here, you know? How many times do I have to say it? We're genuinely in trouble. Our situation is desperate.
When you say genuinely in trouble, do you remember the previous reasons you gave me for saying you needed me to lend you money?
Yes, of course I do. We're struggling to stay afloat financially because vegetable prices have been going through the roof lately.
Right. And the month before that, it was because the gasoline prices had gone up. What was it the month before? I forgot. Oh, yes, the electricity bill was soaring, right?
I don't remember well either. But probably that. Everybody knows the cost of living has been going through the roof lately, and normal hardworking folks like us just can't get by as easily as we used to.
Probably that. I see. Anyways, let's forget about that for a moment. What I wanted to ask you is, why don't you understand how unreasonable it is to come begging me for money every time your living expenses go up?
How is that unreasonable? You're right, I don't understand at all. We're your family, and we're in trouble. You're the one who said it was your job as Kyle's mom to dash to the rescue and save the day when life throws curveballs at us. Surely helping us at times like this is the decent, moral, and obvious thing to do?
It's not that I don't want to be there for you. The problem is that every time you ask for money, it's for the smallest, pettiest things. Think about it. If I have to come to the rescue every time your outgoings go up slightly, it'll never end. Kyle's got out of the hospital and went back to work months ago. It's not like you two are on one salary anymore. I never heard anything about either of you taking a pay cut either. Look, dear, I know we're in a cost of living crisis, but how can you suddenly be in the mother of all pinches just because cucumber prices went up? Surely, if you two do some brainstorming together, you can figure out a way to get through this somehow.
I'm asking you precisely because we can't cope without your help. Why won't you believe me? You're horrible. You lent us money without so much as a single complaint before. What changed?
I sent the money back then because my son had been in a car accident. That was an emergency. Surely you see the difference between a car crash and the things you're asking me to open my purse for every month these days?
I get that.
Look, I don't know exactly how much Kyle brings home every month, but you've never had any problems like this until recently, so I could ask you the same thing. What changed, Brooke? You'll be fine if you just tighten your belts a little. You know, like eating out less, canceling things like Peeps Flick subscriptions, making sure the lights are turned off, that kind of thing. This is hardly rocket science.
It must be nice to have the luxury of saying all these things from a position of complete financial security. Life isn't so easy for us mere mortals, you know. Yes, that's right, I know. You're sitting on a tiny little nest egg in that savings account of yours, aren't you?
I see. I take it you heard from Kyle?
He let it slip after he had a few beers the other night. I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to tell me. It's real nice to know how trusted I am in this family. Like, geez, thanks for sharing, Mom. Anyway, if you have so much money, what's the issue with lending us a few cents here and there to help us get by when times are tough? Why does it have to turn into this big drama? Just quit complaining and hand over your bank card already.
You do know that my savings and your household finances are completely unrelated, don't you? Just because I have money does not mean I'm obliged to give it to you. What kind of logic is that? Besides, if you're really in as much trouble as you say you are, why are you the only one who ever comes begging to me like this? If times are so tough, why haven't I heard so much as a word out of Kyle?
Duh, isn't it obvious? He's way too proud to admit we're struggling. How's he supposed to feel like the man of the house if he has to beg his mommy for pocket money?
In that case, you won't have any problem with me confirming all this with him directly, will you? You know that your finances are in such dire straits that you have to beg your mother-in-law for money several times a month?
Oh, come on. There's no need to do that, and you know it. That's just mean-spirited. Think about how it would make your son feel.
The bottom line here is that you need to learn to overcome life's challenges by yourselves. If you rely on others at the first sign of trouble, not only will you have no problem-solving ability of your own, but you'll be finished as soon as the support dries up. I have absolute faith in you both to get through this and to become stronger people for it. If you accept and understand all of the above, and you still say you're in desperate trouble, I'll be here for you.
But just because we're not at risk of being homeless this week doesn't mean we're not in trouble. Do we have to be on death's door before you start caring about us?
You know, all of this time you spend asking me for money could be spent figuring out how to improve your situation. Less talk, more action. First, do what you can. If after that you tell me you're still hopelessly in trouble, I'll consider helping you after discussing things with Kyle.
Fine, I understand. Sorry for being so persistent.
Don't worry about it. I'm grateful for your understanding. I understand things aren't easy for you right now, but you can't go through life relying on others all of the time. If you did, you really would end up in the mother of all pinches when no one was there to save you.
Hey, Mom, guess what? I've been doing some thinking.
Brooke? What's this all of a sudden? Have you had some kind of religious epiphany? What have you been thinking about?
Remember how you scolded me before for asking for money? Well, you gave me pause for thought, and I've pondered long and hard on the matter. So anyway, I'll get right to it. I have a suggestion. Hear me out.
I hardly scolded you, dear. But it is important to consider other people's feelings and opinions, especially when they differ from your own, and the ability to do so is a sign of real maturity. The fact that you took the time to seriously think about what I said makes me very happy.
Cool, thanks for saying so.
Okay, well, I'm ready for it. The suspense is killing me. What's your suggestion?
So, you have a lot of savings, right? But you told me it was no good for me and Kyle to rely on your money unless in case of emergency, right?
That's right. We might be family, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't have boundaries, and relying on others all the time isn't good for anyone.
On the other hand, it seems like such a waste for you to keep all that money to yourself without putting it to good use.
Excuse me? Forgive me, Brooke. Maybe I'm misunderstanding you here, but by any chance has the subject changed?
Nope, we're still on the topic. Just bear with me. I'm building up. Where was I? Oh yeah, you said it yourself. It's no good to rely on others too much, right? That's why I think we should move in together.
What? I'm sorry, but I don't understand this at all. What on earth led you to that conclusion?
Think about it. If we move in with you and we all live together, we'd all be on the same team. You lending us money wouldn't count as us relying on others anymore.
It wouldn't?
That's right, it wouldn't. And actually, scratch lending. If we all lived under the same roof, there would be no our money or your money, because we'd all be contributing to the same pot. Your money would become everyone's money. I can't believe I didn't think of it sooner. Let's do it. Let's live together.
Hold your horses, Brooke, please. Don't you see how absurd what you're suggesting here is? I don't understand your logic at all.
No, I can't and I won't. It's not happening. Why not? Surely living with us would give you more peace of mind, too. Ah, that's it. You're worried about the housework, aren't you?
No. Not wanting my son and daughter-in-law to move in with me has nothing to do with the housework. Do you have no inkling of how ridiculous what you're asking me to do is?
Relax. You don't need to worry at all. I won't interfere with you doing the housework one bit. I'll never get in your way. In fact, I bet you won't even know I'm there half the time.
I just told you that isn't the point. Hey, wait a sec. Are you saying you want to move in with me but don't intend to do any housework?
I am, but trust me, this makes sense. Think about it. Me and Kyle have only been married for a year, right? which means I'm still learning the ropes as a housewife. There's still a lot of stuff I'm not sure about, and a lot of things that don't come naturally to me yet. You, on the other hand, are a veteran with decades of experience. Not only would it be rude of me to assume I could do even half as good a job as someone as skillful as you, but it'd also be way more efficient if you did it all for us.
Oh, good grief. All right, you listen to me, Brooke, and I'm aware of how rude this will sound, but I just don't care anymore. I'm so disgusted with you, I struggle for words.
That's not important right now. What's important is that we move in with you ASAP and live together as one big happy family. So what do you say? We'll handle stuff like having our things sent over on our end. You moved house last month, right? I don't know your new address yet. Could you tell me it?
This conversation is pointless. There's no getting through to you. I take it Kyle is aware of this little scheme of yours? I'll discuss the matter with him directly.
What are you talking about? Kyle doesn't know anything about this.
Wait, what? Are you being serious? You're talking about moving house and your husband doesn't know?
Yep, that's right. To tell you the truth, the idea only just came to me and I got excited. I just had to pitch the idea to you straight away. But relax, it's fine. I'm certain Kyle's gonna be on board with it. He's smart after all.
Wow, Brooke, wow. Were you always like this? I don't even know how to respond. But I do know one thing. How arrogantly and selfishly you're behaving right now only strengthens my resolve not to let you move in with me. It is not happening.
What the hell? Your daughter-in-law's telling you she wants to move in with you here. Anyone else would be pleased.
I'm not so sure about that. Anyway, there's no point in carrying on this conversation if Kyle doesn't know about what you're doing. I'm going to go speak with him directly. I have nothing more to say to you.
God, you're so freaking annoying. How could you be so ungrateful? I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart. Do you know how dangerous it is for an old hag like you to live all on her own? We're moving in with you, so hurry up and tell me your address.
Oh, today has been an unusual one. Who would have thought it's possible to be this disgusted with a single person so many times in one day? It's actually impressive.
Stop talking nonsense and accept my very kind offer already. You think I've got all day to be wasting on this stupid conversation? Some of us have jobs to work and finances to worry about, you know.
Calm down, Brooke. Deep breaths. In, out. You came at me like such a whirlwind I didn't get a chance to tell you this. But I already live with someone, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to take you up on your offer. You're better off just forgetting the whole thing.
Huh? You're already living with someone? You never told me that. Who is it? Since when? Why wouldn't you tell me something so important?
Isn't it obvious? Who would I live with other than my family? My second son and his wife, of course. You're right about me moving house last month, but it wasn't to be on my own. I moved in with the two of them. I wasn't lying when I said you couldn't move in with me, you know. What you're suggesting is literally impossible.
What the? No! How dare you be so selfish! Do you have any idea how much trouble this puts me and Kyle in? We need your savings! Undo it! Get out of their house and move in with us!
You can't be serious. I know you know that's not going to happen. I knew that was what you were after all along, by the way, but it's at least nice to hear you admit it. You'd stop at nothing to get your claws into my money, would you? As long as I know that behind every word that comes out of your mouth lies nothing but an insatiable desire for my money, I have no reason to talk to you. Not now, not next week, not ever. If that upsets you, I suggest you go off and cry into your pillow alone, because there's nothing you can do to change my mind.
You just hold on a goddamn freaking minute! I'm not done speaking yet!
I'm terribly sorry, Brooke, but I'm busy. Me, my eldest son, and his wife are all going to a hot spring resort today. Gotta go. Bye.
A hot spring resort? Now? Right now of all times? You cannot be serious! Ugh! Mom! Are you there? Mom!
Brooke, you came to our house yesterday, didn't you? You broke the window and let yourself in, didn't you?
Huh? It'd be, like, really nice if you didn't make false accusations against me, you know. Thanks. I don't know anything about your house getting anything broken into.
It seems like I was wrong about you, Brooke. I thought you were a little more intelligent than this. I didn't think you had it in you to be this recklessly brash and impulsive.
Whatever. If we're honest, this is all your fault. You know that, right? Did you really think I was gonna let you get away with keeping the whole moving in with your son and his wife thing secret from me? If you'd have just kept your mouth shut and given me your bank card like anyone with half a brain would have done, you wouldn't be in this mess. Regret won't get you anywhere now. You dug your grave, now lie in it.
I couldn't agree more. It really was careless of me to tell you I moved in with my second son. I've been a fool.
Wow, you're self-aware? I suppose you'd be a total lost cause if you weren't capable of self-reflection at your ripe old age. Let's face it, you're not as young as you used to be. If you'd have waited any longer, you might have kicked the bucket without realizing what a gigantic moron you are.
You're right. Thanks for helping me notice, sweetie. You see, I'm so grateful that I want to give you a little something by way of thanks. So I got you a present.
Huh? A present? What is it? You should know that I don't accept cheap stuff.
It's fine, relax. It's even more valuable than my bank card. You know, the one you took from this house. In a certain sense, it's actually something really unusual.
Huh? What could you possibly be talking about? I can barely take the suspense. I don't know anything about your bank card either. You're barking up the wrong tree.
Oh, really? Is that so? How tragic. In that case, my present is meaningless.
Huh? Meaningless? How so? What's the present? Tell me.
You see, I spoke to the police about what happened yesterday. We have witness testimonies from the neighbors. Something tells me you might get a knock at the door from some men in uniform with a couple of questions to ask you very soon.
Wait, what? You spoke to the cops? Why would you do that?
What's the problem? You have nothing to worry about. It wasn't you after all. Sorry if you find it boring, but I thought it'd be perfect for you. The present is police questioning, just for you. Congrats, honey.
No, wait! You can't seriously be saying you reported me, your own daughter-in-law, to the police? I'm your son's wife!
You seem a little perturbed. Is everything okay? Surely you have no reason to panic like this. What's the problem? It wasn't you after all. I know you're probably busy, and having a bunch of stern-looking cops grilling you on the sofa might not have been how you envisioned yourself spending today. But you clearly had nothing to do with it, so I'm sure they'll be out of your hair before you know it.
I'm sorry. I lied.
I knew it. So it was you?
Yes. I was so mad about the whole moving in with your other son thing, I wanted to get back at you somehow. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
I see. It's fine. Relax. You have nothing to worry about. I told you, right? This is a present.
How can I relax? I might be about to get arrested here. And how the hell does calling the cops on me count as a present?
It's a present because I am very kindly giving you an opportunity to reflect on what you've done and become a better human being. So why don't you have a long, hard think about your behavior and fix that rotten personality of yours? That's what me and Kyle want you to do. We both have high hopes for your rehabilitation. We'd be over the moon if you accepted it with some gratitude, because this is the last present you'll ever get from this old hag. After that, my shamed daughter-in-law was taken away in handcuffs by the police in front of a crowd of very shocked neighbors. I know I told her she was only going to be questioned, but that was because I didn't want to panic her so much she tried to escape. Between the witness testimonies from the neighbors and the footage from the surveillance camera my son installed in the garage, she didn't have a leg to stand on, and her arrest was basically a foregone conclusion at the moment I reported her. My son Kyle divorced his criminal of a wife as soon as he found out what she'd done. I hope she uses this as an opportunity to reflect, but I'm not holding my breath. Me and Kyle are praying that she uses this whole situation as an opportunity to change her ways and become a better human being, even if just a little. That said, even if she does repent and change her ways, even if she becomes a shining bastion of all that is good and virtuous, we'll never know because she's no longer a part of our lives. She can get by on her own now.